Play. Oh, play. Alright, I missed it. That looks like a Newgrounds. What the? There's a freaking fruit fly. Devolver Digital does publish some good games. Oh.
Time to figure out what's on this thing.
Yeah? I don't remember that being part of the game. Cool. Continue. I don't remember this being how the game starts. Hello everyone, welcome to Inscryption. I'm playing this because I simply want to. And I actually really like the game. Need an excuse to play it again. I'm fairly experienced at this game, but I don't remember everything about it. My game is crashing, I guess, right now. And I also don't remember this being how it starts, so that seems a bit weird. Please? Why? Please? Why? Okay, thank you. Maybe. One of these days. It's crashing again. Oh, another challenger. It has been ages. Perhaps you have forgotten how this game is played. Allow me to remind you. Play the squirrel. Now play your stoat. Oh, I missed a line. Oops. Wolves require 2 sacrifices. You don't have enough. Ring the bell to end your turn and commence combat. Your stoat stands unopposed. The number on the bottom left is attack power 1. Your stoat dealt me 1 damage. I added it to the scale. You win if you tip your side all the way down. Damn it, I can't read. You win if you tip my side all the way down. Like this. You know? My turn. Your stoat stands in the way of my coyote. My coyote dealt 2 damage to your stoat. That means your stoat's health is 2 less. If a creature's health reaches 0, it dies. It's your turn again. If you may draw... You may draw from your deck, or you may draw a squirrel. I'll get the squirrel for now. How dull. Anyway, he'll kill the coyote. The coyote. Because you are learning, I will pass. Again, a random card from your deck, or the certainty of a squirrel. So now we play 2 squirrels to make a wolf. And then we boink him, and we win. 4 damage dealt, 4 weights on the scale. You've won this match. They won't all be so easy. Let me recall your story. Oh, yes. Well, that's a very linear path. You were lost deep in the forest. A single path revealed itself. I need to make sure this frickin' video is actually recording properly. Give me a second. Okay, everything seems good. 2 denizens of the forest approached you tentatively. The caustic adder damage from its poison bite is always lethal. The undying cat sacrificing the poor beast does not kill it. Obviously I'm going with the squirrel. Another creature joins your caravan. Alright, cool. Some of the creatures in the fort. You came across an abandoned sack. That's what I call my nutsack. Okay. You found a squirrel in a bottle. Break it in case of emergency. And have a second. Another useful implement. I'll allow you to tip the scales with it. 3 is as much as you can carry. Cool. You were ambushed while crossing some rough terrain. You don't sacrifice me? How kind. Maybe. You'll help me? Take your turn. Play along for now. Oops, I almost did something bad. You may now see my moves ahead of time. So he's got the wolf cub, which I can't even do anything about. So that's going to evolve into a full-grown wolf, which is going to be an issue because wolves are actually decent things. So we're going to start by using the squirrel and then using the cat there. Then we can stoat it up over here without losing the cat. Our cat should be protected by the stump because I don't think he can remove the stump, and the cat won't attack the stump. So the stump should be there indefinitely. Cool. So we deal him 1 damage. Then he places a bat, which is actually going to go over the stoat. Mind the ambitions of the wolf cub. It ages swiftly. So he placed a bat, but that has flying. So flying is going to go... Behold the rule book. Please let me, okay. The bat has flying, which means that it actually does damage over top of the enemy and doesn't attack the enemy directly. So, it's just going to, hurt me, actually, and make me lose score. But since he doesn't attack the stoat will live, and the stoat will attack him, because the stoat doesn't have flying, and then the bat will die. We're going to draw a squirrel so that we can combine the cat and the squirrel to make a river snapper, to kill that stump, and then work our way towards some more, you know, game economy. There's the wolf. We're gonna have to do something about that quick. The airborne bat flies over creatures to attack directly, as I explained before. So yeah, now we're back to noon. Ha! My bat flew right over that stoat. All right, what do we got here? Another wolf. That would be nice. So the wolf, we can still end our turn safely without any repercussions. So now we have the squirrel, and we can use this cat and the squirrel to attack a wolf with a wolf, and our wolf will kill because he has the first attack. And basically we win now. Another wolf. So what we can do here is sacrifice the cat and the river snapper. Fear not, the beast is sacrificed but not removed from your deck. Its suffering was real, but you will see it again. So yeah, it's saying that it doesn't permanently remove it from your deck. And we just did that to get the more attack damage. And we got some overkill. Nice. You prevailed and trekked onwards past the now bloody terrain. More card choices. The meek sparrow, an inexpensive if feeble flying creature. The young wolf cub, it grows into a wolf after a single turn. Well, the wolf cub is much better, and plus we have kind of like a beast thing going on. Okay. You stumbled into some strange stones in the mist. You were compelled to choose a worthy sacrifice. One that will be lost forever. Okay, so this is the sacrifice side. I think that's the upper is the applying side. So this is going to take the sigil of this and apply it to something else, which, yeah, I'm thinking the stoat might end up being the best choice. Actually, but then it costs 2 blood. Yeah, let's just go with the stoat. What an honor. There he is. A ghastly spectacle, but the soul of the cat now lives in the stoat. Okay, now this is a totem lady, I believe. Oh, nope, this is a totem fight, which gives beasts flying, which is actually horrible because beasts are often powerful, so... He's completely insane. You see that, right? No care for the rules. Pathetic, really. Enough. Shit. He only keeps me around to watch me suffer. Cool. Thank you for adding that. Okay, so we have flying shit, so nothing matters really. So the only thing we can truly do here is get the stoat on here, back on the board. We can't even do this, so we have to wait. I mean, we could do an emergency squirrel, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary. My totem has granted my coyote the power of flight. So yeah, he's gonna do some serious damage to us. And we are going to squirrel this, do this, and we will kill the bat so that he can't do any more damage. I was debating whether or not I should just attack him, which I would be profiting 1 point even with his attack, but I think this is going to be the best move for now. Which he will spawn a wolf cub, but that's okay, because we can also spawn our own wolf here, which he will be attacked and go down in health, but then we'll be able to kill the wolf cub while he's weak and still a baby. And we will also get this sick 7 damage on this turn. Very nice. You're 1 damage away from winning. So he just goes right over. I didn't even think about that, so the wolf is just going to be fine. We're going to pull another thing, which we get a wolf cub, which we can actually just slap on the board because we have the free sacrifice of that guy. The wolf cub dies, and we have all this extra damage, and then there we go. We win. Simple as that. Those can be a little bit more challenging as time goes on, obviously. Impressive. You may yet survive this ordeal. Knock on wood. Okay. So now we have to pick another card, but this time it's proper. The Proud Wolf, a vicious contender. The Watchful Bullfrog, it leaps in the way of attacking flyers. So yeah, this sigil means that it will still block and use itself as a meat shield for flying creatures. Another cat! Bro, there's no way you can't take another cat, especially when there's this thing right after it. The developers hate him. He's just too powerful. And then we have a wolf cub who's also got the power to sacrifice and then also becomes a full-grown wolf eventually. Hot damn! I'm an awesome dude. I'm an awesome player. There's a way for both of us. Somewhere in this foul cabin. Be silent or I will tear you to shreds. Okay. A grizzly bear off the bat is freaking insane. So that's not good. Let's start with the wolf cub, who's infinitely sacrificable. I don't want to... but I have to. So this guy's just gonna rip this guy to pieces. He didn't place anything here that will attack my Grand Furs, so I'm actually in a horrible position in the starting spot. I think this might be a spot where they're trying to guarantee my death, which is really unfortunate since I got a really good starting thing going on here. Okay, there's another grizzly bear. I will take a squirrel for now, and then I will sacrifice the wolf for the infinite stoat, but the stoat will die. It probably wasn't the greatest decision, honestly, but he will kill that. This one will take out the fur, and then this one, and then this guy will sacrifice himself on the grizzly bear. Okay, let's see what we can do here. River Snapper's pretty decent. This thing will live. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't use it right off the bat. So here's what's gonna happen. Do this, try and kill that, which is still not going well. So this is gonna do 3 damage. And then this will make it even. So yeah, that's what that does, is it just rips out your own tooth. A well-earned point of damage. I didn't think you would really do it. Yeah, so you just rip out your own tooth, that's cool. And we should live through this next attack. But I don't think we're gonna live through this next one. So here's what's happening. Squirrel that, do this, put the red snapper there. Use our emergency squirrel just to defend against and prevent the damage from him. Then we also gain that. This guy's going to attack over. Okay, they're really just trying to fucking screw me. There's too many bears. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the point, but still. Did I neglect to mention overkill damage? Excess damage is not wasted. It carries over to the card behind the mangled corpse of the victim. Lucky for you. But yeah, there's still just too many bears and it just doesn't matter. And my deck is completely wiped. Alright, cool. Okay, yeah. No, they wanted me to die here. With all of those fucking... That was so fucking bullshit. That was some bull! Using as a learning opportunity may be the only way to mitigate my disappointment. Get up. Get up from the table. Fetch the candlestick from atop the barrel beside the door. Hello? Alright. Sir? Oh, it's that. Okay, so he wants us to grab... not that. Woo! Oh, there it is. Bring it here. Now sit back down. Let me explain something to you. That was one of the 2 mistakes you can make here. Yeah, that was totally a mistake on my part. If you make another, I must sacrifice you. Now, where were we? Okay, so since I wasted my items, I should probably go this way. The ornery porcupine. Sharp quills await those who dare to attack it. So that's thorns, basically. Yeah, it'll do 1 damage to whoever hits it. The conniving raven. I blight upon the skies. And the bullfrog. I think right now we still need small sacrifices. And the porcupine might be better out of all of these. Okay, so now we're gonna get a full restock of items. A rock may get you out of a hard place. Its bleeding yields 3 blood, if you can ignore the bleating. Some good wordplay. Choose one. So yeah, the black goat with the infinite sacrifice is pretty good, but you can't, but this isn't an actual card that I have, so it's gonna be hard to, it's also impossible for me to do it right now. I can't make an infinitely bleeding goat. If you deem it necessary, you may cut up one of my cards with these. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I'm thinking another boulder. The boulders are pretty good. Feeling overburdened enough with a full 3 items, you carried on. Okay, so now we have our first boss fight. Let's see if I can make it. The trees seemed to close in around you as a chill mist descends. In the distance you could hear the clinking of metal on stone. A horrible figure stood in your path. Yeehaw! Towards the prospector! You know. He's doing the prospector again? Easy, boss. The wheel's the key. I mean, depends, I guess. Let's put the stoat here. Then we'll sacrifice him to do the porcupine there, which then will kill the coyote. And we also get those 2 points. A thorny rebuke. Okay, so then we will do this. I don't like to use this guy here, but it's gonna have to do. Let's grab this for now. It's our wolf cub. We're not gonna play him because there's actually a secret on this boss fight of what he's gonna do after his first phase, and which is gonna happen right now. I hope you don't think it would be that easy. There's gold in them cards! So he just fucks up your entire day and everything you've worked so hard for in the very first part of this. So that's why we've saved this for this point here. We will then attack the pack mule again. Get him! Alright, so now we're in actually a pretty horrible spot, honestly. We're going to get a squirrel because we're about to destroy the pack mule, which then will give us a few other cards. Ooh, interesting. Dag nabbit, my mule! Okay. So So they each do 2 damage. The adder will instantly kill the gold nugget, but it will still be blocked. So we're still gonna profit 1 point either way if we block one of these guys or kill them, of course. This guy has 3 health, so what I'm thinking is we are going to get a squirrel just for good measure. We will then... interesting. Okay. I've misplayed this. Alright, we're gonna do this. We're going to sacrifice the squirrel and the wolf, the infinite wolf, of course, for the adder, which is gonna instantly kill the bloodhound. It's not really a good move here for now. I'm just gonna play the squirrel here, even though it's gonna eventually kill the squirrel. I'm just gonna slow his progression down. A serpent perhaps more deadly than man. So then we should start gaining some advantage here. I debated saving the skunk to put on the adder, but then they're just in a stalemate, so I don't know. I could kill the adder if I get something decent right here. River snapper, that's decent enough. So we're going to sacrifice the squirrel and the wolf for the river snapper. Then we do more damage. Okay, then we will draw another card, which is a wolf. We will sacrifice the skunk and the wolf to place him there, and we should actually just get the overkill and win here. Alright, cool. So I think I handled that pretty well. Pretty good strategy if I do say so myself. Allow me to light your candles once more. I won't be killing you quite yet. Alright, cool. You're the first in a while to overcome a boss. As a reward, you are granted an opportunity to select a rare card. Choose carefully. What do you got for me? Poor abandoned child. It does not die when sacrificed, but do you have the heart to try? I believe this is actually the Jersey Devil, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a really obscure cryptid or something like that. I might be wrong. There's a whole story behind it, but I feel like I'll explain it wrong, and I don't know if people care, so I'm just gonna continue on. The uninspiring Gek. Perhaps you can find a use for it. I don't remember how to actually make him turn into something. This level of brutish strength needs no explanation. Urayuli. Urayuli is basically a trump card, but it does take all of your creatures unless you have the goat. And I do not have a goat, so right now Child 13 is seeming to be better, especially with the kind of build that we're going for, where we just have all of our cards being infinitely sacrificable to be able to make more cards. With sound of the prospector's pickaxe still ringing in your ears, you carried onwards. The rank smell of rot and mold permeated the humid air. Every step forward was answered by some nearby slip or slither. You tread cautiously into the wetlands. The reviled? Is that how you spell reveled? The reveled skunk. Its stench reduces the strength of the enemy. All the elusive otter. It submerges itself during my turn. So yeah, the river otter is not my favorite. I don't really like these cards because basically it just allows any opponent card to be flying. So it can never die or be hit, but it's also not very powerful. So it can be kind of a static thing. It basically can never die, except for in extreme circumstances like the boss's special ability in the mid phase. It's just not really my favorite. Skunk may be useful, especially for early on, and especially with how we have been playing the game so far. So here we have an important choice. We haven't used any of our items. So this will actually make a card more powerful, either by health or more attack. But this will give us, since we have a full backpack, will give us what's called the, you know what, just go with it. Let's do this one. You'll see. The amount of items you can carry is 3. And you have 3. Instead, perhaps you'll accept this gift from my friend. Hello! Pack rat. The prudent pack rat. Never doubt the utility of a well-stocked pack. So this guy, when we play him, he will give us another item. I prefer not to use items unless absolutely necessary, you know, pure skill style, but he can come in handy in a pinch, but he is very costly, so his ability is usually better used by sacrificing him and applying it to another card that was already more useful on its own, and that you would play otherwise, you know, just normally. Alright, so this is not a great start to our hand. I'm thinking let's start... The only thing we can place is the porcupine. We could place him here, and we would get dealt 2 damage because this bee is flying, but the porcupine could kill him. If we put the porcupine here, he deals 1 damage, and then he gets hit for 1, and then this guy's dealt 1, and then on the next turn he would die. So you know what? That's actually seeming a little better, maybe? I don't know. Let's just go with my instinct here and go with that. I don't know if there's really a right decision here. Well, it's a little bit not right now, but I'm sure he would have put the frog here, even, you know, if we had put the porcupine there. So we definitely... This is a hard one, actually. It's not really a great start. So what I'm thinking is we're actually going to place the squirrel and sacrifice the porcupine and the squirrel to make the wolf, which then will attack and kill both bullfrogs. If my calculations are correct. Yes. Okay, cool. Let's draw a squirrel, just keep going. He has a mantis, which attacks in 2 of the diagonal directions instead of directly ahead, so our wolf lives and doesn't even get damaged, and will kill the mantis as well. Let's draw another thing, infinitely sacrificable wolf. So we'll use the squirrel on that. That's what I was hoping for, something like that. So now we can kill the mantis and the bee, and he will deal me 1 damage. We're getting close to death, but now both of our wolves stand unopposed, which will then deal 6 damage compared to his 2. So we're profiting 4 points in this instance. Let's grab another squirrel. Then there's an ant, which we don't have to worry about him. We don't have to worry about their statistics yet. Okay, let's place a squirrel and sacrifice the squirrel and the infinitely dying wolf to then place another wolf, even though I think we will get the overkill on this turn and win. Alright. How brutal of you. You dealt me more damage than you needed to win. However, in my game, such feats are rewarded. To be precise, a tooth to keep for each extra damage dealt. The trapper may be interested in your spoils. Okay, now we continue on, get a new card. The stalwart snapper, a near impenetrable defense. The omnipresent mole. It burrows and emerges to block any landborne attacker. So yeah, this guy will move to any position as long as it's not blocked by another card to then protect against damage against the player. And a bullfrog. So this guy's pretty neat, but you know, he's basically a sacrifice. Another river snapper wouldn't hurt. Or maybe it would because it's 2 blood. I'm thinking the bullfrog would be better because it can actually deal damage. I don't really want another pack rat, which this would give us another pack rat. So let's go over here and show this off. This is the campfire. You came across a small group of survivors. Faces shrunken from starvation, they huddled around a campfire. They looked upon your group of creatures and beckoned. Come, warm one of your creatures by the fire, one said. Warm it by the fire. That will enhance its power, said another. You noticed one of the survivors wiping drool from their mouth. So you can always get at least 1 free use from this, and this will enhance its attack damage, obviously. So, putting the skunk here would actually make it extremely powerful, because on its own, it can't attack. But if it can completely negate the damage of a smaller creature who only has 1 attack, and then attack it in itself, then it becomes so much more powerful. But of course, you could do it on other things, like this Child 13. It has a special ability, but this could make it always be able to attack. If when you sacrifice it, it comes alive, so then it can attack, and it's actually pretty powerful. But you can make it always useful and have it be able to protect itself if you give it power. But you could also do things like just make the River Snapper even more powerful, because 2 damage is just better than 1. So you got, it's a great decision, but I think that the skunk is the most powerful decision. The fire warmed the poor skunk, enhancing its power. One of the survivors reached towards it. Another gnashed their teeth. Without a word, you pulled the skunk from it. Oh, I should have read that. But yeah, sometimes they'll let you try and do it again, and there's a high chance that it will be completely just removed from your deck. That time, it just didn't even let you try. Let me try. And so now our next thing is a fight. What are we dealing with? 2 kingfishers, which have that stupid stinker ability where they can't die, and then a coyote. So these kingfishers can't die, but the good news is that they're not very powerful either. So their damage can be, while ever persistent, it can be negated. They're also flying, so whatever is placed in front of it will not die. They will always just deal the damage to me. So that can actually be a great use for the skunk in this situation, because the skunk, even though it can't kill him, it can negate his damage entirely so that he becomes useless, and he's always become a free 1 damage to then cross out this kingfisher's damage. Which also we could start with Child 13 here. So let's put him right here, and then we can sacrifice him to do the skunk, and Child 13 becomes alive, and it does 2 attack damage. I thought about putting him here, but then the coyote would just kill him, so I'll try and keep him alive for a little bit longer. I also could sacrifice the skunk and Child 13, but I'd rather not. So let's just go with what we have for now. So we start with 3 points of damage on his side of the scale. And we still... I got confused for a second, even though I had already worked all this out. So we're going to place the squirrel, put the red snapper here by sacrificing the squirrel and Child 13. When you re-sacrifice Child 13, he becomes dormant again. But the river snapper will kill the coyote. So I'm okay with that, and we deal the 1 damage, which is then negated by this guy. The River Otter will attack Child 13, unfortunately, and kill him. So let's get something that we can hopefully sacrifice. So we will... Oh, that's unfortunate, actually. We can't do that, because I don't want to kill anything else on the board. So Child 13 is going to be truly sacrificed by getting killed by the River Otter. Unfortunate. So let's grab a squirrel. Had to kill a fruit fly real quick here. Sorry about that. So the skunk would be much more preferable to be on the River Otter, honestly, since the kingfisher is a little more deal-withable, let's say, with the... But unfortunately, we also don't have anyone we can sacrifice. Okay, this is unfortunate. So we're just going to continue on. Our 2 damage is going to be negated by the River Otter and Kingfisher, but at least be protected against the Coyote, and in fact the River Snapper is actually going to kill the Coyote, but he's also placing another River Otter, which is really annoying. So we're going to have to start doing some stuff fast, which we have our 2 squirrels here, which we can place the wolf by the Kingfisher. I probably shouldn't have placed that wolf by the Kingfisher. I probably should have let the otter take care of him. So that just in case we get an infinitely never mind, we won. I was gonna say just in case we get our infinitely sacrificable stuff, but obviously it didn't matter. An invulnerable beehive. When it is attacked, you will draw a bee. The monstrous grizzly bear. Its form speaks enough of its effecticity. What the fuck is that word? I'm gonna take in the grizzly bear. It's gonna be probably hard to try and get on the board with our current build, but we're gonna go with it. It's really tempting to go here, but I'm thinking this might be better. Even though we will have to do a totem fight, I'm thinking that this might be easy enough where I could handle it. Another power. A group of starving survivors stood around a dying campfire. "There's room for a creature around the campfire," one said. "The warmth will enhance its power," said another. One of the survivors said nothing at all, but it could not stop licking their lips. I'm thinking that Child 13 is going to be our next best bet. The power of the Child 13 was enhanced by the warmth. As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, you withdraw. So again, I don't know if it's just because it's so early they're not going to let us try and do it again, but whatever. Anyway, totem fight time. So birds also have protection against flying things. That's not too bad, actually. If anything, that's preferable, but... So our starting hand, we will do the squirrel with the infinite stoat. He thinks that it's a total misplay, but I disagree. He's going to... I suppose I should have put... He actually is correct in this situation. I should have put the stoat in front of the kingfisher. Unfortunate, but oh well. He's going to slowly kill the stump, but he also has his infinite sacrifice ability. Unfortunately, we just have to continue and deal with our mistake here. And I think in the beginning here, we're not meant to win either way. Let's start by placing the squirrel, sacrificing the infinite stoat and the squirrel to kill the coyote. It's getting a little close here, but yeah, there's not much I can do here. But we do have the wolf going here. Unfortunately, he placed a river otter, which is going to slowly kill the wolf. Let's start with the squirrel. Oh, no, I should have done that. Fuck, I'm just not even doing this right. Okay, well, we're still going to profit this turn. That coyote is going to be wasted because there's no way that... In fact, actually, both of these are going to be wasted because none of these guys can be killed unless I snip them with my scissors. Let's grab something here. We got a skunk. Unfortunately, it's not what I really want right now. Let's start by snipping the river otter. Then I will place the squirrel, and then I will use the infinite stoat and the squirrel to place a pack rat, which gave us a tooth puller, which is not my favorite, but oh well. Then we get some big damage. The coyote's going to kill the wolf, and the kingfishers are going to do 2 damage. Let's see what else we can get here. Wolf cub, that's what you like to see. We're going to use the infinite stoat to do the wolf cub, and then the river otter is going to slowly start killing our stoat. We're going to save our skunk because I don't want to place it in front of kingfisher. If it comes down to it, I would rather place it in front of the river otter. So we will continue our turn from here. Gain 3 damage, and we actually win. No overkill, but we win. Now we go to the trapper, I believe. You were stopped along the way by a trapper looking to liquidate his pelts. There was something uncanny about his appearance, but you were quickly distracted by his wares. Care to look at my pelts? Not very good voice actor, so give me a break here. Take a pelt free of charge. See the quality? Do I have enough for a gold pelt? I do, and I have enough for a rabbit pelt. Alright. You're leaving already? Please consider my pelts. I already have, but I understand that that's for first-time players who might make a mistake there. Thanks for your business. The man assures you of the value of his pelts. They appear to be useless in a fight. But he mentioned that the trader further down the path would reward you for them. Which unfortunately we don't have one, and we have a very interesting decision here. We could up the power, get another pack rat, or we could combine the powers of existing things, which I'm thinking our deck is starting to get kind of big, so we definitely want to try and start removing some cards from our deck. So the ability that we're going to sacrifice, I'm thinking it should be pack rat. And who to put it on is a very good question. I think it should be someone simple like the bullfrog or the skunk. But the question is, who? Child 13 could also be good. Make him a little more useful even if he gets sacrificed. But there are also other cards that could be even better, I think. Oh, the porcupine as well. I don't know. I think the skunk for now is the best choice. Without knowing what happens in the future, I think that's one of the, well, I don't know. I have to deal with it either way. The bullfrog may have been a little bit more efficient because of how powerful the skunk could be with other things as well. My boss battles are high-stakes test of your aptitude. With one flame, you will either overcome them or die. Fear not. I will let you keep the smoke. The smoke becomes more powerful later, I believe, but currently it's only, you know, a little bit of a buffer. A foul smell invaded your nostrils and caused your throat to seize. A hulking man sat at a brackish pond with his feet submerged in the dark water. He pulled a hook from a pile of rotting flesh and rose to his feet. I am the angler, ghost. You know? Is that a good voice? I hope it is. I think it is. Okay, a kingfisher off the bat. Not too bad, honestly. I think our first move should definitely be the stoat. He says fine, so he thinks that's a good play. Another kingfisher, not a bad C. Which fish was the tooth? Alright, so he pulls and steals our shit. So we can even, just... The way he picks the freshest thing. Fresher fish, easy choose. So yeah, then he will steal our thing and pull him to the other side, but we can use this to our advantage. Mine now, go fish. So we really want to try and do this in the fewest amount of turns. Or not the fewest amount, we want to try and beat him with the fewest amount of animals on the field due to his second phase ability. So we're just going to go with what we have for now. Stale fish, hard juice. So we will then pick another squirrel to then place here. New fish, easy choose. Alright. So then he will take this fish, he'll push back his other kingfisher, which then will even out the damage that will be dealt. Well, at least not this turn, but now the next turn it will. Take fish, go fish. Let's get another squirrel. Let's place them both all down to try and get the grizzly out, or to get the grizzly out, which will then kill both the squirrel and the kingfisher. We'll try and take it, but then we will place another squirrel here to then block him from being able to place anything else down there, and we will start to move ahead. I may not be able to win this fight, actually. Now that I think about it. This is tough. Rabbit pelt, fuck, bitch. Okay. So, we have an unfortunate situation. This next one is going to take out his first phase, but it's going to spawn... It's gonna spawn some stuff that's not gonna be good, and I'm gonna have to do some maneuvering here, finagling. It also really stinks when how the overkill on the first phase doesn't count. Oh, too fast, too soon. So I have nothing to worry about here because the game is just killing me here. I'm still gonna try and win, even though it's a futile task. What's the best bet here? Let's get the skunk. We will sacrifice the stoat to put child 13 on here, and then we'll sacrifice child 13 to be here. So then, oh, I should have used my item first. Shit. Well, that was a crucial mistake to even try and win, even though I know it's basically impossible. There goes most of my shit. Let's do this. Golden pelt, you are really fucking my buns here. And then we use our two boulders here. And then this is where I lose. Especially that it keeps giving me my fucking pelts. I bet it did that on purpose anyway to really make sure I couldn't win. Alright. So now this is happening. Go fish. Oh boy. You aren't dead yet. This isn't purgatory. Though you may think of it that way. Before you expire, I must ask you a favor. I would like a memento. Your very own death card. It's quite plain at the moment, isn't it? We will work together to amend that. I want this to be the perfect memento of you. Here are some cards from your mediocre deck. We can put them to good use. Please choose a card to draw the cost from. Oh man, that means I think the Grizzly is not going to be picked again to get the power and health, but whatever. So I guess the 1 blood. A cost of 1 blood from the Bullfrog. And another, this time I will use its power and health. Well, this fucking blows. 3 power and 2 health from the wolf. Now choose a card which to extract the sigils. Bro, you gotta go with this. A sigil of fledgling and a sigil of many lives from the wolf cub. So now he's infinitely sacrificable and he's going to evolve. I never did ask your name. This guy is Blood Elder, obviously. There is now but one final matter. The portrait. Are you ready? You do not need to smile. Here we go again. Another challenger. Perhaps it is time. Perhaps you can understand bones. The resourceful opossum costs 2 bones. You can gain a bone whenever your creatures perish for any reason. So we have a rattler there, so we place a squirrel, a stoat to defend against the rattler, which then will die. From the death of your creature, you've gained a bone. You will not lose this until it is spent or the battle ends. So yeah, that landed perfectly on the side, which is freaking epic as frick, but yeah, there's a bone coin there. So now the stoat is going to deal damage but the rattler is going to kill the stoat, which I feel is a perfect example, or that's probably why they did it. So now I can place the opossum, which then could kill the rattler, actually. So I don't need to sacrifice it. Oh, but that's unfortunate. Let's get 2 more squirrels to do this. And get more bones. Do a bunch of damage, and we win. Uh-oh, what's happening? Oh. I forgot your figurine. Get up and fetch it for me. It's beside the safe. Okay, well that's where I'm going to end this first episode, because we've been going for a while. Like I said, I really like this game. I hope you found some intrigue in it. I don't know if anyone who's watching this doesn't know about the game, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed either way. Please subscribe if you want to see more. I will like to play a variety of video games, so hopefully one day I'll get around to being able to do it all. And I also stream somewhat. But that's all I have to say for now, so I'm going to say bye-bye.